Even though our oceans feed and employ us, produce half of the oxygen on Earth, help regulate our climate, and are rich with ingredients for life-saving medicines, they are being degraded by human activities hour by hour, day by day. Human activities contribute to over 8 million tons of litter into the ocean every year. What does this mean to our beautiful environment?
This continent, Africa, has one of the youngest populations in the world, and a lot of people hungry for development, hungry for innovation. So I think that gives us a lot of opportunity with capacity building, with some guidance to create jobs, to create opportunities for income and for livelihoods. But you mentioned the problems. Of course, there is many problems. Poverty is one of them. A hungry person, not knowing what to eat in the evening, will not have time to think about conservation.
We're not just facing challenges of climate change, we're facing challenges of poverty. So we can't just focus on climate change. But saying that, I think African countries, and certainly the Western Indian Africa, have increasingly relied on science-based evidence to make decisions around how they handle climate change.
Maybe in the past the marine space and the blue economy has not been captured well enough. It's only recently that countries are developing their national blue economy strategies and realizing the potential blue economy has in the region. And we try to support the different countries, the different sectors, but without forgetting those who are living actually on the ground, so the local communities who struggle to make a living, who need sustainable livelihoods, who need jobs. And I think this, to bring the economic side together with conservation of the nature, but also sustainable income opportunities, that's what we try to bring into harmony.
Many countries, especially those found along the Western Indian Ocean, WIO, lack basic infrastructure, struggling with skilled human resources, technical, and limited access to financial support and technological advancement needed for effective ocean management.
When you look at the world map, the terrestrial environment looks like pieces of meat that have been put in soup. One plate of soup. So the ocean, you can call it Indian in one side, you can call it Pacific in the other, you can call it the Atlantic in the other. It is only one ocean. We had better take care of it, because the future of our people, the future of the entire civilization, the future of this world lies on the ocean, and it is only one. So if you are going to have problems in areas of Argentina and so on, where there's upwelling, you will get El Nino in East Africa.
And this has greatly affected the ocean's ecosystem, threatening our blue future.
At the moment that we, through our blue future, especially the ports and shipping cluster, are able to set recommendations, make policies, come together and create laws together, I think if we go on together as one, there's a lot of things that can come out of that as compared to everyone doing it alone. Collaboration ends when people feel like they would want to implement whatever it is on their own.
Compounded by fragmented and ineffective marine conservation management, weak enforcement of regulations, conflicting priorities among stakeholders, outdated management plans, overreaching threat to climate change, and issues with marine pollution, the world has really come under serious threat.
Planning is very key. We have what we call spatial planning and zoning. So everything that comes in, so that you help the communities, we need to work together to plan together. Be it if it is the aspect of developing this marine spatial planning, all the key stakeholders need to come together.
So fundamentally, what we're trying to achieve with the symposium is look at how science can support the blue economy in the Western Indian Ocean. Part of that is about protecting our sensitive ecosystems because they're valuable for people in terms of food provision, climate regulation, all sorts of ecosystem goods and services. But then also that part of it is about looking for opportunity for economic growth and economic development.
And to address this problem, the Gesellschaft für Internationale Zusammenarbeit, GIZ, a major partner of the Western Indian Ocean Marine Science Association, Wiomsa, has been working in collaboration with Friends of the Western Indian Ocean, WIO, on capacity building, science and research, improved governance, and promoting innovation to achieve sustainable ocean management and resilience in the region.
GIZ is a German government owned company limited with the mandate to implement projects and programs on behalf of the German government in development or under development cooperation. So at the moment we are mainly funded by the German government through the BMZ, Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development. And what we try to do in the Western Indian Ocean is to promote and support an inclusive, sustainable blue economy. Now the German government has given a lot of trust and a commission to us, to GIZ, to implement this program in the different countries, as I mentioned before, to create job opportunities, to bring more value to the blue economy. So blue economy meaning anything to do with economic opportunities in the blue sector, so in the marine ocean sector, such as, for example, aquaculture, seaweed farming, sea cucumber production, sustainable tourism, but also at a higher level, ports and shipping, and fishing value chain development, and so on and so forth.
GIZ, in collaboration with Wiomsa, has been implementing programs to enhance technical and managerial capacity and professionalism among marine and coastal practitioners. This year's Wiomsa 2025 Symposium, held in Mombasa, Kenya, brought together over 2,000 scientists, researchers and innovators to review various research work on how best to reduce marine pollution and degradation.
This to me is a game changer. We only need to make sure that we can have a sustainable way of doing business. We need to advance the use of technology to appreciate the growth, but at the same time we do it in a sustainable manner so that we do not destroy the ecosystem. So the issue of the public-private partnership comes in, the issues of using the advancement of technology to manage, for example, the pollution is very important. The issue of managing the ballast water, drainage is also very, very critical in my opinion.
The degradation of oceans is majorly driven by human activities, including dumping litter and untreated wastewater, which causes nutrient pollution and dead ocean zones.
Our communities, how much do they know? How well do they understand what we are talking about in this room? If we go out there, do they know what critical issues that affect them, their livelihood, are affecting them? And can they afford, or can we afford them an opportunity through knowledge of being able to also be part of the solutions?
At Kenya Ports Authority, we are doing a lot. Between the period 2019 to date, we've managed to plant 521,000 trees.
Mikoko husaidia kwa sababu mikoko ni mazao ya samaki. Mahali samaki hutaga mayai na yale mayai yasipate usumbufu ni sehemu za mikoko. Maanake kwamba kama mikoko imeongezeka na mazao ya samaki yanaongezeka na idadi ya samaki inaongezeka na uchumi wa jamii unafanyaje? Unakuwa.
Other human activities that have negatively impacted the Western Indian Ocean, WIO, are the fishing activities. Overfishing and unsustainable fishing practices are a major threat to marine biodiversity, and over 30% of fisheries are unexploited, while illegal fishing practices cost the world $23 billion a year. 80% of wastewater is discharged without treatment, and climate change is threatening some of the world's most critical habitat like coral reefs, mangroves, and seagrass. Outdated management plans and weak implementation, as well as lack of legal recognition for protected area, remain a major challenge to sustainable coast management.
I'm looking for partners that we can leverage with the little resources that the government has. You can be able to do matching grant, and we should be able to do this impact assessment. But I think for me, the game changer would be to set up a national data observatory that is dedicated to ports and shipping, aligned to sustainable development goals, looking at the national agendas such as the bottom-up economic transformative agenda, looking at the Vision 2030, and of course the Africa that we want under the vision, under the Agenda 2063. So this observatory, in my opinion, it will be a game changer. They will set it up here, but also it covers the entire region. I'm looking at setting up observatory and repository in the sector of science, technology, and innovation. But I want to be a little bit biased so that we can have one specifically to look at this space of the blue economy.
Poor port management is another great contributor to ocean water pollution, which must be addressed through the scientific mechanism and government collaboration. The development of a Region Port Sustainability Performance Index for the Western Indian Ocean region, a transformative initiative led by the CSIR and funded by Wiomsa, aims at advancing sustainability practices across ports in the WAO region.
With 80% of our transport is globally is by the ships, and we know the ships, as much as they are very clean, we are contributing only to 3% emissions, but with this high volume movement and increasing, there's need to look at it.
African countries are susceptible to climate change to a large degree, perhaps more than elsewhere in the world. And the challenges that they face, I think, are perhaps more significant in terms of implementing adaptation and response measures because they face challenges down the line.
We can start from the political level again down to ensure that we can support those that are lagging behind, how we can accompany those that are progressing but they are facing challenges to progress further ahead, and what kind of funding can we generate, what kind of encouragement we can give to government to put some form of a budget also to support themselves as the region support them.
Another area of major concern is the threat of oil spills. The threat of major oil spill continues to pose serious risk to the ecosystem and coastal state, not only to countries found along the Wiomsa corridor, but world over. Experience show that preparedness is key for a rapid and effective response to such spills. The Western Indian Ocean WAO region is particularly vulnerable due to oil pollution from ships, oil exploration, and transportation. These spills causes significant ecological and economic harm.
We still have this, the issues of oil spills is an issue. The beauty is we have technology. For example, you can using isotopic technology to appreciate how you can be able to manage this. And that's why I keep on talking about the use of science, technology, and innovation in this space. There's nothing that we cannot do with all this. The only thing is we have to make sure that we put these tools in place that we can be able, one, to protect, but B, if it happens, then we can be able to clean our ecosystem as soon as possible so that it does not have devastating effect on the marine life.
Oil spills are events, they happen sporadically, but when they do happen, they're large-scale events and they lead to significant environmental challenges. So the way to deal with that is by having plans in place so that you can be responsive quickly and deal with issues to contain the oil spills and then clean up responses. And countries in the West Indian Ocean, to my knowledge, have all been very, very proactive in putting oil spill contingency plans in place already.
Many countries like Kenya with long coastal lines have faced significant challenges, including climate change impact like coral bleaching and sea level rise, widespread marine pollution from plastic and land-based runoff to habitat degradation such as mangrove loss and poor governance leading to weak resources management and enforcement of regulations. During the deliberations, however, stakeholders were optimistic and calling for funding and support, such as for research and coastal challenges, training workshops, mini symposia at scientific events or marine culture initiatives, establishments for more science and research center targeting communities.
Coco FM, ladha ya pwani.